Well, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, affirming U.S. support for the autonomy of a longtime partner in the Middle East. The Prime Minister of the Kurdistan region of Iraq has been in Washington this week meeting with Trump administration officials. Joining us tonight is that Prime Minister, Masroor Barzani, the Prime Minister of the Kurdistan region of Iraq. His government has announced some new energy deals with U.S. companies worth more than $100 billion. Mr. Prime Minister, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. I've mentioned your meetings, several of them, not only the Secretary of State, Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary of the Interior, and the Energy Secretary, obviously focusing on the U.S. relationship with the Kurdistan region.
Well, thank you for having me, Brett. I'm very glad to be back here in Washington. We just wanted to come back here to Washington to express our gratitude and appreciations to President, to the government, the armed forces, and to the American people for their continuous support to us, and also to reiterate our commitment to be U.S. allies, friends, and partners, and also to emphasize on the fact that not only we are good fighters and we fought together against terrorists, but now together with the U.S. and U.S. companies, we can actually build a lot together in that region, which can contribute to peace and prosperity.
And these are massive deals. I mean, as you look at the breakdown, it's almost $110 billion, 8 trillion standard cubic feet of natural gas, and 5 trillion standard cubic feet of gas. There's 900 million barrels of oil. But you've got the Iraqi government, the broad Iraqi government, saying the federal government has reservations about these energy deals, agreements signed by you and the Kurdistan region, saying they're basically null and void. How do you respond to that in your neck of the woods?
Well, we have the Constitution that actually clearly states what rights Kurdistan region has. Kurdistan does have the right to sign deals, especially on development of the gas and energy sector. We have signed deals in the past, and these two companies have been operating in Kurdistan for the last 15 years.
I want to talk about your region. Obviously, the U.S. is lifting sanctions on Syria, formally starting that process today. The Secretary of State said if that hadn't happened, it would become an ISIS playground again. You're in the neighborhood. What is your assessment of Syria and the region now?
We agree with the President's policy to give Syria a chance. Of course, Syria is going through some difficult times and challenges. The government is not yet in total control of the entire country. There are still pockets of ISIS running around that they need to be contained, monitored, and hopefully with the cooperation of all sides eliminated.
And how do you see Iran? They're in the middle of nuclear talks now with the U.S. over its nuclear program. They've still been a bad actor in the region, focusing on proxies like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis.
Well, we hope that the talks that currently are underway will lead to some peaceful settlements. We don't want war. Obviously, everybody supports President's vision. We certainly do. We support President's vision of peace, prosperity, economic development, and we hope that these talks will lead to some sort of peaceful results that would respect the rights of everyone.
There's some foreign policy experts that look back at the U.S.-Kurdish relationship and think that we, the U.S., left you all hanging a number of times in recent years in Syria, in various fights where you've been fighting terrorists on the ground. You're establishing this relationship with this administration. How do you look at that and the past of the U.S.-Kurds relationship?
Well, I must say that the U.S. has been instrumental in supporting us. We wouldn't have been able to defeat ISIS easily if it were not because of the support of the United States. And I can tell you on this trip we have heard very supportive words from the administration. This is exactly what we want, and we are very grateful for what the U.S. has done. So we hope that the U.S. will continue to see us as partners as we are. And we are very proud, actually, to be U.S. allies and partners.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Prime Minister, we appreciate the time. We'll follow those big energy deals as well and see how they go. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.